Welcome to Robinswood Hill and our inclusive trail, an experience for all the family, in sun or wind and hail. It is here for July as part of Festival, a celebration of communities that are welcoming to all. We will explore our senses like touch, taste and smell, and observe the hill's sights and sounds as well. The treasures on this trail must be left behind, so other explorers can enjoy what they find. Have fun, and as we encourage you to touch, please use hand sanitizer. We would appreciate that very much. 1. The Yellow Tramper Trail is the one to take. Start out on this path, you can't make a mistake. Soon you will come to an old tree stump. Why not stop to feel its every lump and bump? And as part of this festival of connectivity, you could even put your arms around the tree. You may find that the hill is getting steep, and along the way you might like to count the sheep. 2. Come a little further on to a more open space, and pause to admire the view of this place. Perhaps you have memories of this hill which come to mind in this time of being still. Is the cathedral in your sight, and the Malvern Hills of impressive height? 3. When you feel ready to set off again, you will find a tree called a plane. What do its big leaves feel like in your fingers? Are they soft and dry, or damp where dew lingers? I simply can't put into words the joy of standing and listening to the birds. Can you pick out any by their songs as they tweet in their melodious throngs? Feel the crunch of gravel under your feet, and the breeze on your face, perhaps even sun's heat. Before you continue along this hike, take a moment to explore what the air tastes like. 4. Keep moving along, you're doing just fine. Can you smell the cluster of pine? Here there are instruments hanging in the trees for you to play as much as you please. You can work together to make a sound that can be enjoyed for miles around.
Instructions for Station 4, Connecting Through Sound, a reflection. Sound is something most of us can share. It is made with vibrations which all of us can experience, even those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Living things often respond to rhythm as we breathe at different paces and our hearts beat steadily. Use the instruments here to create a rhythm. Try listening to someone else's and see if you can copy it or join in with it. Good listening is an extremely important part of good communication. It can make the other person feel connected and supported and loved. How good a listener have you been today? When someone is talking to you today, try and make an extra effort to be the best listener you can be.
5. And then we come to our next trail site, a group of trees to your right. What will you build with these wooden blocks? Perhaps a house or something outside the box.
Instructions for Station 5, Connecting Through Teamwork and Building, a reflection. Use good communication and teamwork connections to build some of the following things: a house, a fence, a tall tower. Reflect on how difficult this may have been without teamwork or help. Do you know anyone you may have contact with who may need practical help at the moment?
6. Is that a guidepost I see on the grass? And here's a tent to touch as we pass. Imagine the life of a refugee if, from your home, you had to flee.
Instructions for Station 6. Connecting with people in difficulty, refugees, a reflection. Imagine something about your home and street and neighbourhood has become so frightening you cannot imagine staying there with your family another day. Look at this tent and imagine you have to make it your home, sleeping in a sleeping bag, cooking not what you choose but what is available, continuing to care for family members. No longer do you have the identity which comes with your job, nor your wider friendship or family support network. What feelings are you going to have? What kind of humanitarian help would you hope for? Look at the map of places from which refugees may be forced to flee. Imagine a person in that country and make a peg doll to represent them. Include a tag with their name, age and country and place them in the box. These will be collected at the end of the month and turned into a sculpture.
8. From the open meadow, green and exposed, we move to a space that's quiet and enclosed. And after all that colour, I expect you'd like time to rest and reflect. So here are some ideas of things to think about, and others will come to mind, no doubt. When connecting with nature on this trail, are there people you could reconnect with through the likes of email? Or you could follow an insect on the ground and wonder what it sees as it looks around. 9. Here are leaves hanging low and high. Some are damp and some are dry. Their colours and shapes are fun and bold. Does the soil feel hot or cold? 10. Perhaps you think that all has been explored, but now we come to a trickling ford. If this water were raging and wide, how would you get to the other side? There might be barriers to overcome, as crossing might be more difficult for some. How would you cross the stream if you couldn't see? Or if you couldn't use your hands, how would that be? Thank you so much for taking part. We hope you've enjoyed being at nature's heart. Although this is the end of our track, you can do it all again if you turn back. Otherwise, turn right to do a bit more and find lots of other things to explore.
Thank you to Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust, You're Welcome, Active Impact, Barnwood Trust, Right Up Your Street, Star College, Robinswood Forest Church and the writer Megan Paul for their contributions to the Festival 2021 Reconnect Inclusive Trail. Find out more at www.festival.org. Book on our free events at www.yourwelcomegloz.org.